Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for thou hast smitten all mine enemies upon the cheekbone, thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. Psalms 3 verse 7. In this verse, David calls upon God to act decisively on his behalf, expressing a plea for divine intervention in the face of overwhelming opposition. His words are both a cry for help and a confident reminder of God's past faithfulness. In this verse, David declares his trust in God's ability to deliver him, knowing that God's power is more than sufficient to defeat his enemies. Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God. David's plea begins with an urgent call for God to rise up and deliver him. The word arise indicates a desire for God's active involvement in the situation, a call for God to take his rightful place as the protector and deliverer. David does not doubt God's ability to save. Instead, he petitions God to act in his moment of need. This call to God reflects both a trust in his sovereignty and a recognition of his power to rescue from any peril. For thou hast smitten all mine enemies upon the cheekbone. David recalls God's past acts of judgment, where he has struck his enemies, causing them to fall in defeat. The phrase smote upon the cheekbone conveys the idea of God humiliating and breaking the pride of David's enemies. It is a vivid image of the strength and justice of God, showing that God does not simply defend his people, he actively defeats those who rise against them. David reflects on this past victory, reinforcing his confidence that God will do so again. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. The image of God breaking the teeth of the ungodly adds to the theme of divine judgment. The teeth represent strength and power, and to break them is to render the enemy powerless. David is declaring that those who oppose him, those who are wicked and unrighteous, have no true power in the face of God's might. This metaphor signifies the complete defeat of the forces of evil, reducing them to helplessness before the sovereign will of God. This verse powerfully emphasizes the nature of God as both a defender and a judge. David's call for God's intervention is not a sign of weakness, but a strong declaration of trust in God's past faithfulness and power. His confidence in God's ability to strike down his enemies, both figuratively and literally, reflects the unshakable trust that David has in God's justice and might. For the believer, this verse serves as a reminder that when we face opposition or enemies, we do not need to fight in our own strength. Instead, we can call on the Lord, trusting that he is more than capable of defending us and bringing justice to our situations. Just as David experienced God's power to defeat his enemies, so too can we rest assured that God will rise to protect and save his people from all that opposes them.